What we have here today is a 7 versus 7 on a map known as Alarin. If you don't know what Alarin looks like, it looks like this. Right, as mentioned, 7v7, we've got a couple of people on the edge front here, a couple to be a little bit closer, pushing up sides. You can expect a very left versus right, maybe on a slight angle across here kind of game. But anyway, let's do our sorting, have a quick look at the reclaim, and then do team introductions. Our reclaim on the map, we're looking at 31k in total. We do have some large bits in the middle to fight over, some bigger rocks and a couple of clumps of mass wanting to be held. Anyway, team 1 up here on the top left, team 2 down here on the bottom right, and let's go for team 1 first off. We're going to start right at the top left in the rearguard air position with a single ground means of getting up there. It's purple color. It is a Mortal D. Mortal D in purple. He has himself Seraphim, got his factory down and working on mixes into Hydro. Moving in front of him up here on the top, it is Sanaman. He's white in Cybran. Also got his first factory. Not going for double adjacency, curiously. He's going for single. Could have popped it there and got 2 mixes beside. Could have been using even less mass. Down from him, another Cybran. It is Torokung, and he's done the same thing. Single mix adjacency, where 2 could have been done. Third front player for team number 1, another Cybran, already walking towards the front. It is Rabid Lenny, and he's in the grey colour. And the down from Rabid Lenny, right on the far left hand side, it is X6000 working on his hydro with his commander. And there we go, it's a double adjacency I'm talking about. That will actually reduce the cost of your engineers coming out, gives you a wee bit of an advantage in the early stage, so it's well worth considering getting this kind of adjacency. And finally, for team number 1 in the pink colour up the front, it is Wekatha, and Wekatha is also walking his commander towards some of that juicy reclaim to be had. Okay, team number 2. First up in the rearguard air position for team 2, a nice shiny blue UEF. It is Big Ass Muffin, who looks like he's probably stalling power, judging from the fact that he's got 1 PGen, he's building out of the factory, and he's trying to build a hydro. I just want to check that. Yeah, yes, he's stalling power, and he's going to run out of power. Why he's building another factory that he cannot afford, I do not know, but he's going to sit there and stall on that for a while and be quite amusing. In front of him, just down from his entrance in the combat green colour, already moving away towards the front, there we go, it is Prince of Wrath, and he's Aeon today. Just beside him in the orange colour, we have Bobby Commando. Bobby Commando is Cybran. Up from Mr. Cybran Bobby, we have in the lavender colour, we're already getting a gun upgrade. That's pretty darn quick. It is DLE Biodoom. We're just going to call him Bio, maybe Biodoom. Anyway, he's UEF, first UEF of the day actually, and they said Lavender getting that gun upgrade. He's got to be still on power. Where's he getting it from? Getting it from Reclaim? No, he's got 1 Hydro, working on a second, he might be right. Just close to him, and sorry, we've got a bit of fighting going on at the front. It's just a couple of commanders. They're focusing on Reclaim first. We're okay on there. One of them actually happens to be the next introduction player. It is Troggy. Troggy is Cybran in the light blue. Above Troggy in the snot green colour, it is Mr. Hard Megatron, who's also walked up the front and trying to get as many rocks as he can with his comm. And behind Megatron in the bright orange colour, it is the Core. And the Core is here as Seraphim, already getting an upgrade on his mass extractor, so putting some of that early reclaim to eco use. Alright. So this is Rabid Lenny in the middle, getting lots of reclaim. He's got some support coming in the form of a tank and a commander. So Boba Fett is also on the way. And that means Troggy is probably going to have to be a wee bit careful, because it's going to be 2v1 very shortly. He does have support though, coming in the form of Hard Megatron, who actually changes his mind, does a U-turn and heads back on up. And this is Rabid Lenny now deciding to walk away, or any moment now he will, but he's going to be 2v1 any second, and he's definitely going to want to think about not... I am getting my people mixed up. Sorry, it is Troggy down here who's walking away from the double comm threat of Rabid Lenny and Boba Fett. I have my teams completely, totally, 100% mixed up, but these two guys are running into each other. And this guy absolutely definitely is not. Throwing down a radar with interesting little build pattern there. Pigeons around it to reduce the radar usage of power. Then some point defense and anti-air defense just slapped higgity-piggity right beside everything. You don't want to clump it up, you want to spread it out a wee bit to make your life a tad easier. Gun upgrade on the way for Troggy. He reckons it's time to do that, and I don't blame him. He has 2 commanders in front of him he needs to take care of. Alright, I am hearing raiding hunters. There they are. They've been trekking around trying to find some engineers, but they have been found by a Tham instead. We've got a couple of kills out of them, so maybe an engineer or two did die from those two guys, but possibly not as effective as they could have been, since there's not really much else done. Okay. Never finished the mix. Oh, that hurts. Didn't finish the mix before going for his upgrade. Dear oh dear. Up here we see Megatron just running into a few T1 units. No dramas there. He'll be absolutely fine. Immortal D is calling out a potential air snipe. I don't think it's air. That looks like a drop. It's just engineer drop coming out there from Mr. Big Ass Muffin. We'll see what he has to say for himself very shortly. Up here the units have a wee skirmish and no real benefit to either side. It's fairly even. Megatron maybe wants to think about coming down here with its commander, at least an engineer, and grabbing all this tasty reclaim. Look at this, like 100 reclaim sitting here, or maybe less, maybe 1200 or so. Take away that stuff from up there, and he's not grabbing a single bit of it, so needs to think about that a bit more. He's got engineers and he's got his commander. Just should be getting his rocks. He's using his units up this way, trying to get a bit of run past. Not going to succeed. There's too many mantis in the way, and these strikers are doomed. Not much they can do against what they're facing. Maybe they can sneak around this angle and take out some of the back units belonging to Sanaman. But Sanaman is getting a gun upgrade on his commander as well. He's 85% of his way through. Going to be something to be considered about. But speaking of gun upgrades, almost finished is Troggy. And he still hasn't got an engineer fixing that up. He should do. He's right there. But anyway, he's now moving up. He's got gun comm there, and that's going to help this front section easily. DLE Biodoom also has a gun comm, whereas actually Boba Fett is gun, but Rabid Lenny is not. So this will be an advantage to team number 2, where they have 2 gun comms. And Rabid Lenny decides to try and go T2, but he's not going to be able to keep that up because Boba Fett has to drop back. And there's no way he can assist with that, especially with 2 gun comms chasing him down. And now, Rabid Lenny, well, he has to cancel that T2. He cannot loiter, and he's got to move out of position. Boba Fett going for the water, as he kind of needs to do. Under 4,000 health, not too healthy for him. But in the middle, it is Rabid Lenny having problems. He's getting absolutely hammered by Troggy. Troggy, who is... oh, he knows it's a commander, but it looks like he's running out of radar and has moved just out of gun range, and now has no target. Lost target, and Brett's still popping back. He's now picking off some units. If he can kill enough of them, he'll get a rank of veterancy. He's got to try and do something to stem the flow of this tide heading towards his base. Rabid Lenny can't help much at all. No gun commander there, no extra firepower. Right, Troggy is on the warpath. I always did wonder just how effective a gun upgrade is. I know it doubles the... I hear firing, there we go. Yeah, I think it basically doubles their combat capability. They speed up, they fire 2 shots instead of 1, they get some extra range. The UEF commander gets extra range and a more powerful shot. So I think that's pretty consistent across all commanders. Just the Aeon Guncom has to do the one at a time. Right, up on top, plenty of spam coming here from Torokung, and he's facing up against Megatron, who's still not upgraded. Where was the commander for Sanaman? I know he's got gun. There he is. He's actually got stealth as well. So that's going to be a problem. Get some extra hiding ability from that. Plenty of units sitting up here from the core, and I don't think he could sweep that really. So plenty of anti-air in that mix, so it might slow things down. But in the middle, it is Troggy now getting hit by some Vulthus, or a Vulthu rather. So there's some gunship files happening there, and he's going to want to be careful about that. Get us some interceptors in. It's going to take them some time to take it down. It is T2, so you need a few Ts to really have that kind of effect. But Troggy, I think he should be okay. Does need to be a little worried about this. He's down to half health though. Has a rank of veterancy, so he's got a good amount of regeneration out of that. And there we go, some anti-air on the ground just now as well from Biodoom. The interceptors have done good. That is a triad, yes indeed it is. So Triad Fire now coming out, and that's going to prevent this push really from going much further. We have a battle going on up the top as well while we're speaking. A T1 PD has been slapped down by Megatron, trying to keep all this at range, but there's RT in the mix, and that could go for the plasma cannon nice and easy out of range. And Megatron wants to think about not being here quite so much. He's got two commanders bearing down on them, including the gun stealth commander there. Over this direction we can see that Troggy's still facing up front, even though he's down to the red and has a gunship and two gunships on him. He definitely wants to get out of there. He's gonna run out of health very quickly with two gunships. He does not have the capability to take this on. One gunship's gonna go down thanks to some inties coming over from his big ass muffin friend, but he's running well out of health. 600, 500 health, 400, dropping right on down. He's not going to get away from this. This gunship has far too much health to be taken down quickly, and this is going to be Troggy, the first casualty of the game. Just 9.5 minutes. Really should have thought about dropping back as soon as those Vultus came out without the air to defend against it. Over this direction we can see that Torokrum and Cinnamon are pushing right on up, and it has been hard Megatron to seem to fall back. There's the core with gun and nano coming up. That will be a nice little balance for these guys. But in the mid, it is now Biodoom on the fleeing scene. They were pushed all the way up here, but at the cost of Troggy's life. And it is not full shear, so there's a whole bunch of reclaim down here for the other guys to grab. And wow, sorry, while we've been checking out on all of that action everywhere, down the bottom it is X6000 has been taken up by Prince of Wrath. And that is not helpful either. So he had T2 there. I saw that factory just before it popped. Now there's a bit of a gap down the bottom here, and Prince of Wrath does well in taking out X6000. So one commander apiece, and things go a wee bit quiet. Up here we can see these guys got factory getting thrown down by Torokung, and Cinnamon is looking for a kill. Maybe he's trying to run after Megatron. He's going to want to be careful because up here the core, gun, nano, and T2. That is a scary commander prospect. Extra health, gunpowder, and he can slap down some T2 PD as well as like flak and stuff like that. But in comes Cinnamon, who says no, you don't get to complete that, and he's killing off all the build power as well as the PD that the core has been working so hard to complete. And now the core comes up. Guncom versus Guncom plus army, pretty easy to know which way that would swing. The commander by himself is going to have an issue, wants to think about taking out the units before the com. Change up your order, your priority of order, but units sweeping in from behind now, and Mr. The Core has got a large force coming through, and that could cut off Cinnamon, although there are two commanders down here, and there are reinforcements coming in here from Cinnamon himself as well, so I think that would be okay on their front. And the core trying to step up that T2 PD once again. I am hearing Vipers somewhere. Here we go, Vipers on their boss. Hello, Tech battery, and this could be a sniper attempt. We'll have to try and keep an eye on that. Those missiles could go absolutely anywhere. Over in this direction, it is the core trying to hold off two armies on his lonesome. And it's going to be a tough ask. He does have T2 though, and if he can keep those up, that's really going to help his chances of survival. And he does have his own army up here that could sweep in right now. There's so little to stop those. They could just roll over this top section and keep right into the base. But T2 is on the way from Cinnamon, and how are those doing? Well, the tech launchers are loaded, and now it's just going to be a case of trying to find a commander to kill, I would imagine. Again, just have to try and keep an eye on that as they go. Up in the middle we can see that Boba Fett now has gun nanocom as well. He's starting to pick up units, has a rank of redundancy which helps out. We have Biodoom getting a drone upgrade on his com. He's wanting some extra build power. He wants to try and get into that kind of game. This direction though, it is the missile launchers, all about those. Again, try and keep an eye on those at the corner of our eyes. A couple of Vulthus are out to repel the raid from behind coming from Mr. Prince of Wrath, but it's all just about the tech launches at the moment. Static and mobile having their way with things. In the middle, nice little battle going on here. There is those point mirrors did come up, but they won't last too much longer. The T1 already lobbing their shells on over. The radar's going to die off pretty quickly. Biodoom now has the two units, but he doesn't have any tech on his commander. Seems odd to have the drones, but not have the tech to back it up. Over this direction, and it is the core going to have to think about falling back. He has been hammered by it. There we go, more Vipers with their missiles that like to split when they get hit, and now the core needs to think about walking away because he can't quite face on that. Tech launchers are still in play, not doing nothing. They've got a couple of missiles each now. Boba Fett has moved in from the middle. He's coming down this way, going to try and help dissuade this army from doing, well, anything. And here's a gun nanocom, so hey, why not get that work done? Up the top, it is still the core having issues, 2 versus 1, and it's just his commander, beefy as he is with nano. He's not so bad. I keep zooming out because I want to try and keep an eye on these tech launchers, see them doing what they're doing. It is Sanaman dropping back from up here. He's got some T2 in his face, and the same's going to happen for Torokong. Does not have any upgrades on his comm. And if these T2 units sweep up and clean out his support, that is going to leave the core an opportunity to swing back in. Although Torokong looks like he is moving away finally. And yet the core should be fine. He's got the T2 support coming in from Megatron, and that should be fine and dandy. He'll be right to repel that and start doing some extras. Okay. This direction, and what do we have going on down here? We have, well, we mentioned it, Boba Fett coming up with his commander, wanting to take some things on. A few mobile missile launchers up here from Bobby Commander trying to do something. Well, if they keep moving that way, they're going to have a bad time because there is a triad, and the commander, of course, can just wander on up and kill them off nice and easy. Okay, still waiting on those to do something. We've got 4 missiles each now. They could be absolutely wasted if they are not used. And do we have any kind of a quiet stretch? Not really. The core is pushing down here, but he's pushing into a larger swarm of units. He won't get too much done on that front. Alright, so now, oh, the techs are away. The techs are launching. They're launching one by one. That usually suggests they're going for eco. T2 on the way for Biodoom. He's standing still. He might have been a target before if they'd scouted, but it looks like those tech missiles are going for mixes. Yep, going for that one. Going for this. This one is coming all the way back here, and it is on the way. You have some T2 engineers in this mix. Get some tech defense going up sooner rather than later. He's got one. Ooh. That saved your mix. It's going to save another mix too. Just that single TMD is enough to stop. So that missile doesn't split, and it's gone. Okay. So nothing doing for those tech launchers yet. Up this direction we can see there's been a push, a little bit of a pushback. The T2 units have decided to nudge these ones back, but Torokong still running around without an upgrade. Very bold, but not sure it's the wisest idea. Cinnamon is coming up as well to be nice and handy, try and take on this. He's got stealth, remember, so he won't be seen on radar. Need visual to catch that. He can sit out of range of items and just try and snipe from the edges. Now what we've got going on down here though, this is a large build up of units and some T2 as well as some Volpus are coming through to clean things up. There's an Oblivion going down, but yeah, probably needs it. Mongo's going to be the bigger problem. Alright. Back up to the top, and tech missile upgrade for hard Megatron. He's sitting very, very still though. Getting that is going to be a while. Alright, let's have a look at the air games we're doing. I see an ASF. So Big Ass Muffin has an ASF, so does Mortal D, so very similar timings on the T3 air stage. That should be fine for that front. Alright, massive army push up the top, and Sanaman is getting his wee expansion up here decimated. Sending in a couple of T1 bombs. They're going to get much done though because there is Flak, and Flak says no to T1 bombers. Very handily does a lot of damage, and he's going to be forced to think about, oh, there we go. He's building some point defense, and point defense is going to be handy to try and help stop all of that, especially because his commander's in the area. Right here in the middle, things are going to be a bit quiet there. Those guys just taking their mind off things. The push on the left hand side has been rebuffed by Prince of Wrath. He wants to hold on to the spot, and he's got the T2 engineers. He's got a couple of Oblivion, and he can then grab the mass extractors and have a fun time. Army's still down here though, and still got a few more missile launchers in the mix, but they're going to have a problem with T2 artillery because T2 RD at ranges and does a lot of damage when it lands. Okay, bit of ping going on up here for some reason. No idea why. There's T2 on the ground for Mr. Hard Megatron. Here does come that push up this direction. T1 bombs coming overhead, and the core is there with his commander that will help even up the odds. The T2 PD should be okay for taking things out, and he can overcharge the rest. At the bottom, and nice little wee push up there from Prince of Wrath, just cleaning out their forces a little bit. And these tech launchers, well, they've been trying to kill something. They don't have a lot of missiles left in them. The T2 is very much pushing onto the core, but the T2 has been distracted by focusing down the PD first, and that's not going to be all good for them. Right, still the T3 air game is fairly even, not, though we have some Northers, so that could be a sniper guards. And there's a Strat coming out from the Mortal D, so he wants to have a go at something. Strat Bomber wants to kill probably the core, but there's a couple of ASS loitering from Big Ass Muffin, and they should be able to pick up that Strat and take care of it nice and easily. Well, the core is very low. Actually, sorry, just thinking his health, he's down into the red. 4,000 health left. There is another Strat. He needs to twist and turn away from that. He's not going, he's going to collect that to the face. 1,800 health. He'll be okay. If it wasn't for the Nothers coming in and Nothers onto the core, he needs to keep twisting and dodging. They're going to do some damage. Ouch, and our 100, 200 health, not very much at all. Twisting and turning he needs to do. He's going to avoid that. Ooh, lordy, that was close. But look at that regen go. He had about 100 health, wasn't it? It's that regen. Ranks of Venerosity plus the nano, he's gone right back up. Definitely needs to get a shield on. That was so very close. A wee bit of organisation for that. And hello, just spotted those coming out as well. And what are they going for? Well, they're going for, I think they were going for Biodoom, who has wisely shifted his comm away from the spot of death. And there was some extra tech missiles. There we go. Another bank of 6 over here. So they're really going for that tech snipe. Has it been noticed by anybody, or was that just luck? Biodoom moving out of the way, who knows. But now a massive army pushing down from Torokung, but it should be okay. It's basically all well, some T2 in the mix, but it's running to a band of T2 from Megatron, and T3 on the ground from the core, and that is going to be difficult for them to stop. The core up here, he's regened up to 6,000 health. He's all nice and healthy. He'll be absolutely fine. Here comes some more attacks. This time they aren't going for Biodoom though. They are going, is that going for Megatron? Megatron, who's standing still. And those attacks, 6 of them coming in. He's a dead man. No, he's dead. Not getting away from this. Kaboom. Megatron gets tech sniped by the launches from Mr. Rabbit Lenny, and I did see that being mentioned in chat. Somebody said, TMLs, keep trying to snipe me. And well, the snipe was successful, and that is another gap in the map. However, this gap shouldn't be too much of a problem, because the core does have T3. He's doing it on very little eco, but now he has some extra stuff he can grab here. He's got some extra mixes, a bunch of mass he can reclaim, and that should help him get that going. I hear more attacks being launched. Is it just 1x1s? I think it's 1x1s. No, that is a set, and they're going for something, but no good going for something against Aeon TMD, because that would just go boop and distract all of them at once. There we go. Volcano's best against mass numbers of attacks. And then we've got some more teamed up the front. Everything is fine. So lots and lots of tech missiles coming in from those static launchers. They do use mass to produce, unlike their mobile missile launchers, but they have much further range and do a lot more damage. But no dramas there. Back of me, Mallet. How are you doing this evening? Nice to see you. Ready. There's just a few T3 units up here from the core. He maybe wants to hold them in reserve, rushing up against some T2 in this direction, but we wants to stop those engineers from getting to reclaim. They were his buildings after all. I'm pretty sure he wants them back. Alrighty. Grab ourselves a look-see in this direction, and so many mobile missile launchers, the buzzkills just simply cannot keep up. But even songs and Vipers all having to go, so the TMD has a shot, but the Viper missiles just split, and the Evensong missiles just go all sorts of everywhere. T2 artillery having fun. It's going to be firing at this mass over here, I think. Or even all the way back here at the mass extractor. Up in the top corner, I hear those siege tanks doing as siege tanks do. But there is a brick coming all in. And probably too many siege tanks for that brick to handle. It's losing health pretty darn fast. I mean, these are T3 as well, of course, so they'll pretty much have a go. And they can hit multiple targets at once as well. So brick goes down. There's going to be over there. And how are we looking on the rest of the map? Well, over this direction, it is a struggle for Wekatha. He's having many tech missile issues, but here comes a push. Some mongoose are coming out with their shield in front, and there's not really that much on the ground to stop them, if I'm to be honest. There's not a lot of direct fire weaponry that can slow this down. Sure, he's got T3. So Prince of Wrath has T3 on the ground. Hello, that's a bug. There's a bug that is just about completed. Wowza, how did we miss that one? It has been Bobby Commander just working on that. He presumes they've got air control, which I don't really know that they do. He sees another strat out here for Immortal D. And he's got plenty of ASFs and some bombs to go for that. All the arrows over here for Big Ass Muffin. Bobby Commander finishes that. And this is a rather large force coming in towards the core, though. He does have, of course, have his quite healthy commander there. There's mostly T2 in this mix. And of course he's got the shield as well, so stick these siege tanks and the commander under the shield, keep the shield alive, and he should be okay. There's a large band of mobile missile launchers coming off here, but more siege tanks coming down from the top. I think he should be alright. I'm mostly interested in this right here. Soul Ripper starting to have a go at Wekatha. Wekatha needs to forget about the TMD and start thinking about the AA, and he needs some air help right now. Strats though, Immortal D going for the kill. He's going for Biodoom, dropping his strat bombs on there, but where's his ASFs? There they are, they're finally taken off, and is it too late? It is too late. Wekatha goes down to the gunship. In come the ASF from Immortal D. I don't think there would have been enough to save him, but over this direction it is Biodoom having strat issues. 5,000 health, just needs another bomb. Ooh, 2,500 health. Just needs two more bombs perhaps. There's one more. Is he gone? He is gone. So trade for trade. Even as the bug takes out Wekatha, so too does Biodoom go down. And that leaves two very big gaps. Oh, this is going to go pop. Oh, that's gone pop already. And now there's plenty of room for units to push into. And the bug survives. It's got 16 kills to its name. It's maybe worth reclaiming. I don't know, but where were the ASFs and all of that from both sides? Letting all that go on. Dear oh dear. Now it is a little air fight in the middle, and who's going to come out on top of this is going to be very important. Immortal D draws his ASFs back, maybe trying to drag them over some friendly AA, but instead they're just getting picked off one by one at the moment. He needs to turn back and actually fight that. He's got more ASFs, and the turn is actually reasonably timed. Gets in behind the retreating ASFs of Big Ass Muffin, and it's just air all over the place. Bug is pushing around the bottom as you could do, but this is also an issue. The push of the army up the middle from Rabid Lenny, and these guys, there are some mobile missile launchers in there as well. They're going to help wreck things up. Where's the bug gone? Trying to sneak around to the left. Or right at the left. Was that a bit of off-mapping? Actually, that's a wee bit naughty. That is very naughty. Hitting him. Okay, no, sorry, that's naughty. Don't do that. Do not do that, people. Don't deliberately take things off the map like what he just did. You can be banned for that, so please don't. But anyway, the bug is down on the left hand side, and away it goes. It's trying to sneak up the side. It's been spotted though, and the ASFs are coming in, and you should be able to turn that into scrap nice and easy. The bug has to bug out, or it's going to be deadness. Up to the top here, it is still the core, and he's trying to do his best against this Viper spam. Also has to get up here, and he sends the siege tanks up. He's trying to kill off the engines before they can reclaim too much, but it's too late. Pretty much everything up here is gone. He might as well retreat on their front. The bug is there. It goes. Bug is down. I hear strats again. Where are they going for this time? I've heard it. I just don't see it. There it is. It's dying. Horrible death. Alright, this direction it is. The core still fighting that 2 versus 1. He's having to hold off both Torokung and Cinnamon. And with way less eco, he is doing an amazing job right now. He has the least eco in the game, and he's still managing to keep these two at bay, though I fear not for long. There's T3 on the way, you got Bricks coming in, you got those coming in, and an experimental Cinnamon has finished off the Monkey. So the core's definitely going to be up against it there. Over here though, we see the push has been quite successful, and there's no comprehensive targeting though. They're just shooting at everything. They should try and focus down something like the factory or the mechs, whatever they should go for. Doesn't matter anyway. There's some Titans, there's some hot rocket bots. They are no longer around for this world. Okay, I'm still hearing stress. Oh, they're going for the core once again. More stress coming over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are some SAMs. No, it's just flak over there. And he's going to start taking damage. Boomski, down goes his shields. And he's going to need to start doing the dance of dodginess, because he needs to avoid the stress. This shield picks back up though. That's going to help keep him alive a little bit longer. ASFs are in the region from Big Ass Muffin, keeping him alive for now. The shield has been absolutely vital to that going on. The ASFs, they're missing their targets a bit, although the strats are probably not going to get another run. There's many ASFs from Big Ass Muffin, and I think he probably controls the skies. Another strat over there, and the core trying to run for the shield as he needs to do. Strat goes down. There's another strat coming in from Mortal, but I think it has lost its targeting. Pauses in the air for a moment, reevaluates what it's going for, and actually drops a bomb over this direction, trying to kill off the T2 power and some mixes. Oh dear, it very much does. Trying to build a Yathota as well, but he's got Eunice in his base, and the core is just absolutely overwhelmed right now. And along comes the Monkey. He's been fighting a very solid defense for a very long time, but he's just run out of options now, and he has to fall back. Another strat on the way, and more problems to his face. What has he got left to try and fight off all of that? Well, the answer is very little. And speaking of pushes, there's also these over here, more mobile missile launchers in the middle. They have been trying to wreck up all sorts of things. A couple of dead mass extractors there. That one should survive though. How's the core doing in this direction while he's running? Well, there's a Monkey coming down as well, and the core just has to retreat. He's got no options left on his base is in tatters. He's done a fantastic job holding for as long as he did, but he just simply has to go now. Nothing he can do. He's got the Monkey is going to catch up to him. What have they got for the Monkey actually? There's not a lot left on the ground that could do that, but there's a Monkey of their own from Bobby Commander pushing on up this way, and that is going to start wrecking everything over this direction. All these factories up from Ravelini, the Titans here trying to do a thing. There's a strap bomb coming over here, that's going to do some damage. Monkey's just going to ignore the Titans as it is. The core has been defeated. The Monkey did catch up with them, and that is it for him. But there's another Monkey down here, and is there a commander in this region? No, I don't think there is. The Monkey's just going to kill stuff. Try and destroy as much eco as possible. If we can track down the commander, that'd be great. And see, just going to blow things up. Monkey in this direction from Cinnamon is continuing on its merry way. Going to run into some Harbingers, but that shouldn't be a problem for it. They're streaming in bit by bit instead of anything else. Monkey here is going for something, anything. Kill off the T3 HQs, kill off the units, get some kind of work done. Anything at this stage would be a bonus. Just get on up and do some damage. Playing an HQ would be good, but I don't think it's going to matter. Out of health, down it goes. Monkey is now a mass donation without really killing anything critical. There's still mixes alive over here, still T3 factories. Don't think that was a very successful Monkey. It relieves some pressure, but not enough. And speaking of monkeys, this one is on the way. What have they got to slow it down? Well, the answer is kind of nothing. Another Soul Ripper going up, and not going up fast enough. That Monkey is absolutely going to catch up to it. The question is, what can they bring to the table to slow that down? Well, there's a bunch of broadswords. I would be using those now rather than later. Don't wait for the Monkey to get closer. Kill it now. And there they go, broadswords ahoy. T2 engines up here, been throwing down some point defense, and there we go. Now we can start getting some work done on the Monkey. Those broadswords are going to get something good done. There's, however, some anti-air units down here. They're not going to be very healthy for broadswords. Take some time to chew through their massive amounts of health. but they have done great work on the Nuke. Look at that, down under half health, 2 ranks of veterancy. And now the PD on the ground opens up, is down into the red very, very shortly. And is this is Bobby going for the overcharge. I think he's walking towards it. He's going to lose his HQ though. There we go, the HQ has gone down. He moves on up. Is there an overcharge? No overcharge. I wonder if he wasn't set to actually fire, but now the broadswords can shoo away the rest of these forces. Bounces have gone down. Let's just have a look at the air. Oh, here comes Stras from Immortal D once again, and I feel like they're probably making a beeline for Bobby, who's still working on that Soul Ripper. But now he's got the Monkey Reclaim to do it. And the Strat does not get through owing to the large number of ASFs. Let's have a quick count of those actually. Air has been very important. We have 23 ASFs for Big Ass Muffin, and we have 19, so actually fairly even. Slight advantage to Muffin, but now have a look at the map. It's turned in what I thought would be a left versus right game. It's turned into a top versus bottom. And Nuke. So Big Ass Muffin with the Nuke, and where is that going for? Well, that's a really good question. We see pretty much everybody is running away from their bases. Torokung is right there, but where is the Nuke going is the big question. Who is it going for and who is it trying to catch? It's going up in this direction. This could be a Torokung Nuke, and Rabid Lenny is, well, I thought he might be walking into it, but no, he has decided not to. But here we go. It is the Nuke has gone for Torokung, who has moved far too late, and he is not getting out of this. Torokung goes boom. Nuke obliterates his base, and that is actually going to clean up all this army and all this eco as well. Torokung was looking pretty good at that stage. Look at all that just dies. And now, with all that red gone, going to be the dangerous bug completed by Bobby, who still getting reclaim on that monkey. Maybe he wants to think about when he is rebuilding there. T3 Max Extractor going back up as that's being reclaimed. But that Nuke has been incredibly helpful. Broadswords out as well in their wrecking face. And then comes the air from Immortal, but this could be a bad engage. Those ASFs are going to focus on the broadswords whilst they can be hammered by the ASFs belonging to Big Ass Muffin, so we should see an air win if he had the rest of his ASFs in the group. He doesn't, and they're not grouped together. Here come the reinforcements, but at this stage it's looking it's looking more blue than purple. Yep, no, definitely more blue than purple. Yes, the broadswords are dead, but the air has now been finished up, and Muffin owns their Prince of Wrath finishes a GC. So Galactic Cost is ready to stomp up, and probably just in time too with all these coming in, although the bug is coming back to clear the skies. Many more broadswords coming in, and this is a bad time to have lost air. Right now, Immortal D needs to focus on getting some air and keeping in this game. Broadswords are having to go, and the bug is going to have an absolute field day with all of these units. Area of effect damage is going to really blow things up, but Immortal does finish his own experimental, and hello. That's why he's been behind on air, because he's had an Awasa, and that is just ready to go wreck somebody's face. The question is, how much damage can it do before it gets taken down by the ASS belonging to Muffin? How many has he got? Wait, he doesn't have much actually. 9 ASF are going to take a very long time to take that down. In the meantime, 10 ASF for Immortal, so Muffin has been focusing on broadswords to get that anti-ground power going on, but in doing so he sacrificed his ASF building, and now the Awasa is around and it could cause some serious damage. Sam's dotted around the place here from Bobby Commander, but there's a big gap. It can just roll straight on through if it wanted to. It could cause some massive havoc down here. Not much to slow it. Should there T3 artillery coming from Bobby? That seems rather ambitious, and it's also not protected at all by any kind of shielding. ASFs are sent in again from Immortal D. Wants to tidy up those broadswords once more, and once more he's probably going to might be throwing away this air wing to get the broadswords, when really he should be using them to protect the Awasa and take down the ASFs belonging to Big Ass Muffin. At this stage, everybody should be thinking about having AA in their ground mix. There goes another Nuke. Out from... Where's the Nuke in this time? This time he's going for rapid linear. Rapid linear makes a direct U-turn and gets the heck out of dodge. A wise decision to move in that direction. There is an SMD here, but it's nowhere near loaded. There's another SMD here that's going to trying to be loaded. Question is, will it be taken out by the nuke? Is the nuke far enough away? And ooh, Rabbit, careful you don't move back into that nuke. You have to keep an eye on that, but also the Awasa is coming with no air support. Where are your ASFs, Immortal? You're sending the Awasa in blind with ASFs behind it. This is not good. This is where your ASFs should be, and they would be very handy to clean up the air and win it. But the bomb's away. But the Awasa flies over a whole lot of ASFs, a whole lot of anti-air, and it's actually going to die. And the wreck is going straight off map. Oh dear. He needed to have his ASFs in with that, but they are elsewhere occupied. Unfortunate. In comes the bug looking to kill off all of these. There's a whole bunch of flak though, and some T1 AAA. Throw the ASFs in from Mortal, and that bug won't last too long. But that has got a rank of Veneris, so it's got some regeneration, but no defense against those ASFs. Where is the air from Big Ass Muffin? Well, it is somewhere else, probably worried about the... And say hello to another bug. This time it is built by Cinnamon, and it is having to go at the GC, which needs to be had a go at, because that GC cannot afford to get through. There's nothing on the ground to stop it should it get past for that. Yes, there's a few Percivals. They need to not walk away, but walk towards and start lobbing their big ass alpha shots onto that thing. It needs to go down before it causes too much havoc. Over this direction, and the bug is still up for Bobby Commander. ASFs from Big Ass Muffin have swooped on in and been nice and defensive. And this is the problem though, and the GC decides it's had enough and wants to turn away from all that. The bug is doing a sing, and we should see the ASFs from Muffin come on in. There we go, they're on the way. And the bug needs to, well, bug out. Done its job though. The GC is too heavily damaged to push on, and it falls on back. SAMs are down below. They're going to help keep the bug alive. Perhaps ASFs move in from Mortal D as well. He's got plenty of spy planes in the mix as well. But it's mostly the SAMs down here. They're going to keep things ticking over for the bug. Running away towards... I don't know what's running towards. These SAMs up here? Yep, bunch of SAMs here from Cinnamon, and he wants to try and keep that bug alive back there. So he's sending it way away. And in the meantime, the ASFs for Immortal are trying to keep it up, but the ASFs from Big Ass Muffin decide to walk away because the own bug. Nope, it was moving up a moment ago, but decided to turn around and flee the scene. Okay, another Awasa being built, half done already, so it's going pretty darn quick, but you maybe want to focus on this first. You know, the nuke defense, rather than the airborne nuke. Focus on the nuke defense, because that is loaded and another nuke is ready to go. Novax is being planned on out, and this is Muffin.
Strategic launch detected.
Oh, where's that going? Oh, it's going right there. Is that loaded? No, it's not. It's not even trying to be loaded. Is that because this is? Yes. That one's loaded, but this is an edge nuke, I believe, and it's not actually going to reach in range of that SMD. That was loaded? No, that one's not loaded either. But there we go. It is just in range. Just in range of that. That was very, very close. I think it was like right there, just on the edge range of the SMD, so it does not land this time. Very close. Very grateful that did not go through. Okay. Eco is still pretty even. Only 30 mass per tick, and it's team number 2. Slight advantage, not a lot to crow about. But at this particular point in time, there's still lots of eco that can be built back in the base here. Look at these mixes still empty. Not much on the ground. They do have a bug coming in as well. That's going to start hammering away at all of this. There's a T2 mass extractor. Oh, that was almost T3. A waste of mass. Though the bug decides he doesn't want to load near the SAMs. Probably could have. And there we go. The T3 mass extractor completes. Gets some more health. T3 artillery though, I see that mobile ID shell. It's going to be a problem for that. A brave cougar comes out and starts planting shots down onto the Soul Ripper, who decides, yeah, no, I'm done. Leaves the scene. Up on the top though, we see there's another bug. Or, well, the same bug here for Cinnamon is having to go at these ground forces. There's some anti-air on the ground as well, some ASFs of his own, so Cinnamon is now protecting his own bug, and that is all good. He's now cleaned up the skies, he's friendly skies indeed, and that bug is free to dominate these forces as it goes. And the T3 arty is done though. Bobby Commander's finished the T3 artillery, and what's he shooting at? Where is the shell going? It's going all the way back here. Ranch right on between two mass extractors, and they are doomed. Mortal D's base is now under T3 arty attack. He has Seraphim, he does have some very strong shields he can throw off, but he's already lost a pair of mass extractors over this way, and he needs to think about getting those back as soon as possible. That is unfortunate. Right, his nuke defense is loaded, so he's going to be okay if another one is sent his way. And that is very important at this stage. Maybe also think about getting that under shields too. Still trying to build another also. Okay. Many scouts not being used. We see Cinnamon looking pretty dangerous up here. He's got himself the Soul Ripper. He's got a bunch of units on the ground. Engineers doing reclaim business. There's plenty to be had. Prince Wrath finishes another experimental. Got one GC there. There's a friendly bug nearby helping out. They're both heavily damaged. And what was the... There we go. Another GC has been finished up there. That T3 arty though is starting to fire and is... How's it going? Was it trying to get through anywhere? Well, that shield is about to drop. In fact, it has dropped. And the next round that lands is going to cause some horrific damage. Wherever it goes. Crunch. Knocks out the shield generator, which is very, very needed to stay alive. The mass extractor is heavily damaged. Next shell coming on in is a bit of a lower trajectory. And this might be even worse for its placement. Straight onto the T3 PGen, killing a bunch of engineers and the radar. And the Awasa is sitting there very much unbuilt. No build power on that whatsoever, but those arty shells are a problem. Here they come again. Another one going to land on T2 HQ. Another mass extractor down, trying to finish off the shield generator. Definitely needed, but this is not good. Boom! Goes the T3 PGen, takes down a support factory with it. The T3 Air HQ is not looking very healthy at all either. Any more shells land over there, they're going to have a terrible, terrible time of it. And down goes the HQ. Definitely not what he wanted to happen. Now all his areas compressed in this little area. He's got a handful of ASFs and a single wing, but not much doing. The T3 arty, was that mobile arty? No, that had to have been a... Yep. So the T3 arty has changed up targets. Now that it's killed off most of Immortal D's base, it's now going down for Rabid Lenny's base. Kills off his HQ back there, which was not under shields. More shields going up, but they don't have the power to run it. Looks like there's a bunch of assistance on this T3 shield generator here. Not wanting that satellite to get through onto the SMD, because they need that to survive. If it goes down, they're going to have a terrible time. And speaking of terrible times though, look at the number of Harbingers supporting this GC. A number of Percivals on the ground, and they would do well for the GC, but in comes the bug as well. Mobile T3 out over here, lobbing the shells at anything in range. The bug is having an absolute festival. A counter bug coming over from here. This is the one from Cinnamon. This bug is, however, found the absolute delight of a pair of commanders standing beside a T3 PGen and an anti-nuke. One commander. This is Rabid Lenny going out in a blaze of glory. This Soul Ripper just engaged at the last, a wee bit too late. Nuke comes on down. Probably pointless, to be honest. There's not much left there. Actually, no, there's still a fair amount there, so it wouldn't be so bad, but the satellite overhead would do for all of that. We see the Soul Ripper down here is killing off the mobile artillery. The GC down here should be the next target. It does come on over. And yep, there we go. Shots are coming on out. Maybe also think about killing off the mobile anti-air first, but it is the Soul Ripper doing most of the damage. A few stray shots do hit the Redeemer. The Dreamer goes down. Nuke lands back here, wrecks the rest of Boba Fett's space. The GC is going to go down, and it's going to be free to clean up basically all of this stuff over here. Off the back, and this is a loaded SMD, but Mortal D is just trying to get his base healthy. Just trying to get covered from the T3 artillery, which is a mad problem. And speaking of problems, that's a lot of ASFs coming up from Muffin, though he's not using them for anything just yet. He's not going for the Soul Ripper. Soul Ripper is being allowed to just absolutely hoover up all of these Harbingers down here. Has gained 3 ranks of veneracy, so quite a nasty little Soul Ripper at this stage, but still quite unhealthy, and I feel like a single pass could probably kill it from all of these. He just wants to keep that going. Up the top, it is Cinnamon trying to do things, and that's a crab. Hold on. That's a teleport, I think. Yes, a Cinnamon with a teleport ready to go. Where is he going? It would be very silly to go down here with all of those PD. So maybe... Oh no. Oh no. Hi, Muffin. Guess what, buddy? You haven't noticed. And you're about to die. He's still working on more anti-air. When it's anti-ground he needs to worry about. His attention must be elsewhere. And say hello to Cinnamon. Focuses. Commander, shield's going to drop any second now, and that is going to be Muffin out of the game just like that. Cheeky Cybran teleport. None the fuck. And Cinnamon, standing in the middle of all that explosions, takes a huge amount of damage. Should be able to get out of that though. He's getting the telly away, and that's all the air. There's no more air for team number 2, though they have some SAMs rocking around the place. They have mobile anti-air as well, so it shouldn't be too bad. And that T3 artillery has been absolutely destroying everything. SMD, not necessary anymore. It might be dead, but nobody's got a nuke. The only nuke belonged to big ass Muffin back here. Not an ideal time for him. Okay. Shield upgrade on the way for Prince of Wrath. He really doesn't want to get a GC on standby as well as T1 PD. So I think he's going to be absolutely fine. Scout plays going on over. And don't tell me he's going to try and telly again. I think he's getting some repairs before he does. A wise move. Okay, he still has a Soul Ripper up. He has a crab on the way, and he could actually do some damage with that. There's some mobile, and there's an Awassa. The Awassa is good to go, and it is time to use it. If there's ever a time to use the Awassa, it's right bloody well now, when there is no air player. Rocking around the edge this way looks like a valid path. These scouts have gotten straight on through, and if it can get its bomb down into the right place, it would be absolutely ideal. Straight in may not be the best idea. Who's that? Oh, that's Boba Fett. He's still alive. Sorry, I didn't even see him in there. Okay, but the Awassa is going in. It's going to take a bunch of damage from the SAMs that's flying over. Too many SAMs. Lots of damage coming over, but here it goes. Bombs away, and the Awassa's going to die as well. This could be catastrophic. It's dying at the same time. Boom! Ooh, Bobby Commander, very lucky there. That bomb just fell a wee bit short. Had it been close, he would have taken a lot of damage. This is not an advisable spot to teleport into. He's right beside the T1 PD. I'm pretty sure they're going to be in range. Yeah, they are. And this is going to be an absolute dead man. There's far too many point defense in range of that teleport. He needed to go over here out of range. There's T2 PD over here as well. But he's not going to last. Look at his health just disappear. Just like that. And the center man... No, should have tallied over here, but, you know, out of range of these. Out of range of those. And... yes, if he tallied over there, he would have got Bobby Commander, and then it would have been a 1 versus 1, but that, unfortunately, was the wrong decision of location. There's... oh, Immortal D's not doing too badly echo-wise on his own, but he is well up against a... well, He's got mobile T3 down the bottom of his base now. That is just lobbing shells on over. He's got the big T3 artillery, 2 of them now from Bobby Commander, and that's not going to be well. And that is going to be pretty much it for the game. So Immortal D is control gaze out. And there goes Boba Brett joining the party. He has been sitting down here for a while, wouldn't have been too long. Here we go. Torpedo launches. And there we have it, folks.